What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning. So come by and say hello. Okay, well, I wanted to talk about one thing that I got very wrong when it came to the end of the airdrop. And I know that I'm not the only one, but I was just doing a little analysis for myself and kind of looking back at the content and what I had been focusing on. And there was a bit of a blind spot, so I can't blame myself fully for this, but I want to walk through where the thought process was like 2 months ago and now where we are at, a couple weeks after the end of the airdrop. In fact, coming up, I think, on 2 weeks post airdrop. Now, going into the airdrop, the end of the airdrop, one of the things that I was very highly focused on was, where is DEC going to go from here? And for the longest time, it felt as though the team was just going to let the market and DEC was just going to do its thing. Then DEC, with the broader markets, crypto crashing and everything that happened, DEC went below its peg already. And that was very much unexpected before the end of the airdrop. So they implemented this kind of buyback, not buyback, but essentially the 4,000 DEC for a pack to back the products back the coin or the token with products, as Yabamat says. So that was all well and good, and it seemed as though, okay, we're going to have some kind of stability here for DEC. There's going to be a reason for people to buy in, but we don't still know what the end of the airdrop looks like. Now, many people who had their DEC tied up in pools started asking about liquidity pools, but we didn't hear much about liquidity pools. In fact, what we heard about before liquidity pools was the SPS ranked battles coming into play. If you remember that town hall, or that post, I should say, and then the following town hall about a month ago, we found out that SPS ranked battle rewards were going to replace DEC entirely. And so this put the focus on SPS ranked battle rewards coming into play, and us just getting all of these other faucets for SPS. There was talks about brawls as well. And so when I looked at that, I said, okay, well, DEC is interesting to me, but let's take a look at SPS now. We just finished the airdrop, which was a huge kind of dilutionary or inflationary period. And now we're going to get a bunch more syncs that open up, which sure won't be the same amount. But if you look at my videos from a month or two ago, I was kind of bearish still on SPS at that time, saying that, well, there's not going to be a reason for people to continue buying it if there's no utility yet, right? And even here we are 2 days. We have the big announcement tomorrow in the town hall, so that could add some utility and change things. But that's why I wanted to record it tonight before tomorrow, which could potentially change everything. But with this being said, and looking at it, I was very much of the mindset that many people, if they were starting to get it as rewards and no further utility was given to the token yet, we would end up seeing more sell pressure. Not as much as we used to, because it's the players that are earning the SPS. And sure, it might be the higher level players, but I still felt that the habit of selling SPS for cards, which I don't think is bad, right? And I kind of regret not doing that when SPS was at a higher price, but selling the SPS that you get, whether it's from the airdrop, whether it's from staking, whether it's from the upcoming ranked battle rewards, selling it for cards or other assets in the game made sense to me. Or for people who are earning it and using, the income or earnings from this game to pay for their rent or pay for their food. Again, totally valid things and actually amazing things that a game can do that. I was wondering, I was thinking along those lines. The big kind of iceberg that was just floating there that nobody really knew about was the liquidity pools. And that to me is the major thing that I don't know if I necessarily want to say I got wrong, but I missed, right? And the thing is, people were asking about it. And I was definitely curious, because there was going to be 7.5 million SPS given out every month for these liquidity pools. But what we didn't realize is how quickly they were going to come into play, because with the team's, public sentiment about DEC. And when I say public sentiment, I mean not that I hear anything on the back end, but or on the inside, but just like what they've said so far and what they had said so far in the town halls was, DEC is going to do its thing, and we'll see where things end up with DEC. But many people were concerned about the price of DEC and concerned about what they wanted to do with their DEC, and were asking about the liquidity pools. And there was a lot of pressure on the team, it seemed like, to start to get these into the mix right away. And to the team's credit, they did get it in literally the day that the day that the airdrop ended. And the rewards there were insane. The APRs were out of control and still are to a certain extent. In fact, let me go over to this page right now, which has all of these, right? We're still looking a couple weeks in, 130%, 140% on the SPS BNB and SPS Swap.Hive, respectively, 150% on SPS and Wrapped ETH. And the reason I'm focusing on these specifically, the SPS ones, is because all of a sudden, SPS was given utility. In the same way that DEC was given utility by making it an airdrop point, that's what caused it to go up 15x. Well, now if you want to get these sweet, juicy APRs, right, and which were like in the multi-hundreds just not too long ago, well, then you had to go buy SPS along with these other partner tokens, right, and then put them in to earn more. Now, part of this, and again, I'm not saying that this is... let me be very careful here. I'm not saying that this is a Ponzi, but I get worried about whenever tokens have utility that where their utility is like, buy this token to stake it so that you can earn more of it. It doesn't. That's not a real use case for me, right? So again, other tokens really and other projects abuse this to a very, very bad extent. I don't believe the Splinterlands team is doing that. And the reason Ponzi-nomics is a popular term, and I know it's a buzzword that might get me some flack here, but I say it because that's the current utility that was put in. So it's not that it's not real utility. It's just, okay, well, what's the long-term play here? How are we looking? Like, if you're buying an asset just to get more of it paid in the future, but it doesn't do anything, at some point, these APRs won't make sense, and the price of SPS is going to start falling, right? If there's no other use case, if people start to sell off, especially if they're getting it in other ways, what are they going to do with all these rewards, this 100%, 150% APRs that they're getting? Well, they're going to keep on doing it until we get to a certain point where people want to take profits. And at some point, people will want to take profits, and that's not a bad thing. It's just going to happen, but that will create that sell pressure on there. So with this potential other utility that's coming around the corner and, about less than 24 hours now, maybe actually close to 12 hours now, it's not just that. There's other things that I do think the team is working on to bring utility to SPS, whether that's the staking SPS in order to earn rewards, things like that. So we know that utility is coming. But in the meantime, the fact that we've been able to almost essentially do a 2x from our recent low at what, 7.5 or 4.5, was it 4.5? Yeah, we were down to 4.043, so 4.3 cents. And we are closing in on doing a full 2x of that from just, what was the date here? This is in July 13th, so about a month ago. Crazy stuff. Really, really crazy stuff. So that's what's created this utility for SPS that nobody really saw coming. Again, we knew from the white paper that the liquidity pools were going to be a big part of this, or at least be a big sink offering 7.5 million. But since that was never really talked about until literally the town hall or the second to last town hall before the end of the airdrop, we just didn't know how big this was coming in, what types, what types of APRs it would be offering. It was this whole... it was this whole, we had no idea what pools even would be available, right? So it was this really, really blank sheet of something that was incoming that we couldn't quantify and couldn't prepare for, which ended up being a very, very net positive to the ecosystem as well as the token value. Because now, you go and if you want to trade in these pools, if people want to get into the game, it's not going to move the price too much. There's a lot of liquidity that's been put in there. And so I don't know what the long-term plan is on liquidity pools post the 65 months that we have rewards for them. But keep in mind that these APRs could go up further if SPS starts to go up, because that is the token that's being paid out as a reward. So as SPS increases in value, these could look really juicy even if they have high amounts of liquidity in them. But I remain somewhat reserved about the liquidity if that's the only utility that we get for, the short term. Now, again, I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, but if that is the case and the hype cycle dies down before we can get other utility put into this, again, I'm not trying to be bearish just to be bearish. I'm just saying that markets go in cycles, and I don't know when this cycle will kind of reach its peak, nor when it will, start to cycle down from there, or how low that cycle will be. But for the moment, I'm enjoying the ride, and I have put liquidity into both on, actually not both, but on Hive, and then both on the Binance and Ethereum chains, just because it was beneficial to do so. But this was the big thing that if I was the Titanic, this was the iceberg that we definitely couldn't see coming. That was one of the major utilities that was given to SPS. And again, it's kind of faux pas utility where it's just buy this token to get more of this token. So I'm hoping that tomorrow's announcement, and then whatever comes from the SPS ranked battle rewards, which we should be getting potentially by the end of the month, and if that involves player staking, that could be something really, really interesting as well. And then, the team's just doing some phenomenal work behind the scenes. So I'm just excited to see what they have up their sleeve for the next couple of months. I mean, we haven't even talked Rift Watchers yet, right? And I'm trying to stay away from that for now. When we start to get closer to it, I'll probably do some more videos covering where we're at from a liquidity standpoint and a pricing standpoint. But overall, I'm really excited. This is a very, very exciting time to be in here. And tomorrow, or whatever the announcement ends up being, could be something major, which is why, like I said, I wanted to record this video kind of doing the post-game analysis from the end of the airdrop. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below if this makes sense to you, if you saw this coming, or if you didn't see it coming and you were like me and it was just came out of thin air, essentially, it seems like, but caused this nice pump. Because sure, we got Huobi, we got a bunch of other things, but I really feel that the buy pressure on SPS has been largely due to the liquidity pools adding crazy amounts of liquidity, therefore crazy amounts of SPS, right? So that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I will catch you all in the next one, and I will see you around the game. Take care.